संघर्ष युद्ध स्थिति के दौरान असाधारण कोटि की विशिष्ट सेवा के लिए उत्तम युद्ध सेवा मेडल। लेफ्टिनेंट जनरल कंवलजीत सिंह ढिल्लों युद्ध सेवा मेडल, विशिष्ट सेवा मेडल।
We breached their air defense system, we breached their Pakistan Air Force, we hit and we came back safe. I am 6 feet 3 inches tall, I was called Tiny. Another officer senior to me is again 6 feet 3 inches tall, he was called Shorty. I joined the army under an agreement that after some time in India, then he will take me out. But I was very clear once I'm in, I'm not coming out. हमने उस मॉड्यूल को जिसने पुलवामा को अंजाम दिया था खत्म किया और वो डायलॉग वापस आया, हाउ इज द जोश। 40 घर बदली किए हैं फ्रॉम डेट ऑफ कमीशन टिल आई रिटायर्ड। कैप्टन साहब ने मुझे पूछा कि पुलवामा के बाद सर अब क्या होगा, तो मेरा एक लफ्ज था, मैंने कहा वी विल गेट द बास्टर्ड्स। यू नो इट बेटर देन मी इन कश्मीर, कितने गाजी आए कितने चले गए।
Awesome, a wonderful start. It looks like a wonderful audience, and the Josh is super excellent. Now, here we have the gentleman who had a wonderful introduction. My regards to everybody present, Honorable Pro-Chancellor, Ma'am, Vice Chancellor, thank you very much. Sir, let's get straight on to the job. 14156 reminds you of one.
First of all, thank you, Sumeer, and thank you, ma'am, and good morning to everyone.
Good morning, sir.
And how is the Josh? Great. 14156. These are 5 digits which were imprinted on my left chest for 3 years. 14156 is my LDA number. Alpha Squadron 63rd Course 14156. And I was talking to Mr. Sumeer before we walked in here in the backstage. In the army, we don't ask which village, what religion, which state, which car you are driving. In the army, our introduction is which course, which squadron, which unit, which regiment. Period. That's our DNA. And in all these 4 things, there is nothing of a religion, nothing of a state, nothing of a language you speak, nothing of an economic background, nothing of a cultural, social, economic, any background. Only one thing is common, that is you are an Indian. First and always and every time. Being an Indian is a religion and blood group is Indian positive.
Indian positive. Thank you so much. We'll break the conversation into 2 parts. First, we are going to go through his childhood days, then his achievements, and then we go on to his book. Sir, first of all, just let us know that was your grandfather who inspired you to come into the army, or the time spent with your uncles, your mamas? What was the story behind? And then we come to the NDA.
My grandfather was in the army, that is during the British times. My mamaji, 2 mamaji, one was in the army, one was in the BSF. And I grew up at my naniji's place ever since 3 years of age. So I saw my both mamajis wearing uniform every day. So that inspired me. In addition, in the northern part of India, especially Punjab, army is a very preferred profession or a way of life, I'll call it that way. Because since lot of attacks which common to ancient India came through this area, lot of invaders, including Mughals and all, came through this area. And after partition, our worst enemy is on the western borders, and Punjab has a very big border or large border running along that side. So I think it was a societal awareness, it was the families, the sort of a background, and also the friend circle. I studied in a Kendriya Vidyalaya, that time it used to be called Central School, in the middle of a cantonment. All my class fellows were sons and daughters of army men. So I think all these things combined together And of course, there was some trip there where my father didn't want me to join the army. After I cleared everything, I cleared my return, I cleared my SSC, I cleared my medical, I was in the merit, I had a call letter in my hand. At 17 years of age to join NDA, my dad said no. I took my Naniji along, so-called Brahmastar, his mother-in-law, and she told him no, he will go. And then the deal was struck that after some time he will pay the money for the training part which I have gone through and get me back. Once inside the NDA, I didn't even talk to my dad for the next 3 years. Wapis to kya aana tha. So that is Shiddat. That is Shiddat. In those days, we were not even aware of the words like CTC or package. The gentleman sitting in the front row, our first pay was 750 rupees. And 350 out of that went to the mess bill for whatever you're eating for the month. Then some insurance, some provident fund. I think 200 odd rupees came to your pocket every month.
Wonderful.
So that was the CTC or carry home. And still, first preference at 17 years of age. Didn't even look at
What
it.
a dedication, what a mission, what a goal, and what an accomplishment. Wonderful, sir. Now, a lot of people, we have lady cadets, we have, our young male cadets, with a lot of people wanting to go into the army. But before that, everybody's got a curious question. Babbar Sher aap, Babbar Sher, giant, but naam tiny. अब मैं इस पे कुछ जानता हूँ. Well, I've gone through your book. I've been having 1 or 2 sleepless nights because I got to be with you. वहाँ ये norm था कि opposite your personality in NDA, in your first battalion, I believe, right, when you were commissioned in '83, was to keep names like, if somebody is 6'3", Shorty, Mini,
Yes.
Goofy, Ali.
Yes.
Can you tell a little bit about that more?
In my unit, like it is there mostly in every unit, every household also, you have a proper name, then you have a nickname. And in my unit, there was a small little tradition like whenever an officer joins, he was given a nickname which is opposite to his personality. Like I am 6'3", I was called Tiny. Another officer senior to me, retired as a general officer, 6'3", he was called Shorty. Another officer junior to me, he was called Mini. And the officer was most intellectual, most as per the book, he was called Goofy. And it doesn't finish there. These names carry on with you. And we have something called, when you speak to each other in the unit on a radio set or on the wireless, as most of you would understand, you are supposed to give out your call sign. That is 1-5 is commanding officer and 1-5-4-5. And unfortunately, those call signs are same in the Pakistan Army also, because they have been inherited from the Britishers. So Pakistan Army is intercepting your call and he can make out CO is speaking to the company commander. When he says Tiny for Shorty, then he won't make out who is speaking to whom. So inherent security BSP. And plus in the army, 95% people knew me as Tiny Dhillon, about 5% knew me as KJS Dhillon, and 0% knew me as Kanwaljit Singh Dhillon.
So NDA, and when was your first official drink?
Okay. Now he is, put in a, we say it, a plus a filter. Official drink. My first drink was with my dad, because he said, "Beta, bahar jaake peene se अच्छा मेरे साथ की अच्छी दारू पिलाऊंगा, अच्छे माहौल में पिलाऊंगा." And he also said, "At least I would know कि तू कितनी पीता है." So first drink was with that, and after joining NDA, first unofficial drink was on the Holi of 1980. Wherein about 8-10 of us got together, managed a bottle of our local liquor and celebrated Holi. And as the luck would ever have it, next day that empty bottle was, found by the divisional officer, the instructor. And we were marched up for getting relegated. That means you lose one term. Drinking is an offense in NDA. And we were marched up to later Admiral Shekhawat, Vijay Singh Shekhawat. He became the Chief of Navy, and he was the Deputy Commandant at that time. And we marched up to him, and like 14156 was the senior most number in my batch. I was the first one to go in. Everyone is standing there. Gentlemen sitting here would know what is a march up in Deputy Commandant's office. And he asked me, he says, "Why did you drink?" And everyone had told me, Admiral Shekawat, that Commodore Shekawat, is a very strict man, ज़्यादा बातचीत मत करना, sorry sir बोल के निकल जाना. So I had two options. One was to say, sorry sir, I won't do it again and accept the punishment. Second was to give my reasons. And this was a lesson I learned there. Whenever you are in a situation, you must give a reason, not an excuse.
Excellent. Have the audacity to speak.
Have the courage of conviction to say your point.
Yeah.
And once the point has been accepted or rejected, then be part of the decision, whatever decision is taken. Then you can't say, "Nahi sir, maine to ye bola tha." So I said, sir, it was the day of Holi, and in my family on the day of Holi, everyone drinks. So I thought probably it's a done thing, and that's why we drank. And you know what the gentleman says? He says, मेरे परिवार में भी सब पीते हैं होली वाले दिन. So कोई बुरी बात नहीं है, carry on out.
Very nice.
So that's how we were set the position. For standing up for what you thought was right, and you had the courage of conviction to say it.
Absolutely. And
Every day is a lesson in life.
that's a great one to pass to this next generation. Sir, 83, your first commissioning, Rajputana Rifles, 4th Battalion. Just some details about it. How was it?
You know, there are a lot of stories which Faujis would tell you, and retired Faujis have a lot of time also to tell you that. So, but now I am bound by the time limit as such. 4th Battalion, the Rajputana Rifles, is like any other infantry battalion in the Indian Army. It's like joining a family. You leave your own family behind, you join this family. Us family mein, there's a commanding officer who is like a father. There are commanding officer's wife, other officers' wives who are like your senior sisters or elder sisters or mothers. Their brothers, their youngsters, their jawans. Everyone teaches you how to go about life in the army. It's a one big family. You never miss a family when you are in a unit. And that is the beauty. He mentioned, Madonna mentioned 40 years, 4 decades. I stayed in that family and hardly used to visit for 1 month or 2 months in a year, the actual family. So there they teach you, they mold you, they chisel you, they guide you, even today. Even today, that family is guiding me. I was on a TV interview with some anchor, and I made a statement. I said, you should know that this is how Gaza looks like and all that. My first commanding officer of 1983, he was my commanding officer in 1983. Today he must be more than 80 years plus. He gives a call in the evening. He said, Tiny, when you're talking to someone, never say you should know. You should say we should know. Because if you're telling him you should know, that means you're trying to fault with his knowledge. And when you're saying we should know that Gaza looks like this, that means you are making a statement, you are self-inclusive in that. Imagine this type of learning coming at 63 years of age from a person who is 80 years of age. आजकल के बाप दादा नहीं आपको बच्चे को बोलने की हिम्मत करते. That is the family. So for Ajif is a family, it will remain a family forever.
Solid foundation, sir. Now, let us go to Kashmir. You know, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Dhillon has the maximum number of his postings, 7 postings in Jammu and Kashmir. And I'm going to share the incidents and the operations he's carried. Pulwama, he was the hero, let's cheer up for him. It happened on 14 February, 19 he's doing the press conference like a fearless lion. 14, I don't know why they chose that day for the attack, but Sir gave it befitting back. Now, also Kargil, then we had Balakot, airstrikes, a lot of, I would say triumphs, victories and stories of valor from your end and your tenure. You are more Kashmiri than Kashmiris. Can you share a little bit about Kashmir? Because वहाँ पे जो आप जानते हैं जो चीज़ और इतने people friendly operations किए आपने and the results we all know, please show, share some thoughts and light on your journey in Kashmir. And I heard that the day before you were also there for a meeting.
I was there in Kashmir a few days ago, just returned about 2-3 days ago. Kashmir, for most of people sitting in this hall or outside, when you say Kashmir, you would think of nice mountains, good snow, good streams, lakes, good valley, and the chinar trees. For me, Kashmir is people, not the land. A Kashmiri is an intellectual. A Kashmiri is a poet, a Kashmiri is a writer, a Kashmiri is a magician, he is an artisan. He will weave carpets, he will weave, kaniki shawls, kalamkari shawls. He would namda, gaba, he would make paper mache table lamps, he would do walnut wood carving. He is a very wonderful mehman nawaz, a very good host. The cuisine was one. That is Kashmir. That is Kashmir.
Beautiful.
This 1% of people trying to create nonsense are not Kashmiris. Kashmiri is a very lovely person. He is a wonderful person. He is a great host. He is a great friend. And we need to understand Kashmir from that perspective.
That's beautiful, sir. Now,
and if I can take
please,
one more
please.
minute, since we are sitting in Punjab, other day on Republic Day, I was on 2-3 TV channels, and when the Jhanki or the tableau of Punjab came, the lady anchor says, Punjab ka Jhanki aaya, balle balle, and Chitkara Lit, what do you have to say about it? So there I said on TV, live TV, I said Punjab is not merely balle balle. Punjab is much beyond that. Punjab गुरुओं पीरों की धरती है, पंजाब शूरवीरों की धरती है, पंजाब संतों फकीरों की धरती है, पंजाब प्लेयर्स की धरती है, पंजाब जवानों की धरती है जिन्होंने आज तक कितनी शहादतें दी हैं, उनकी धरती है. This is how we need to, we cannot be tagged as balle balle place or balle balle people. चढ़ती कला में रहते हैं, that's a separate issue. हमेशा चढ़ती कला है. That is, I am always looking up and being vibrant. So I thought I'll share this also.
well, this is beautiful. रहमत है. Sir, अगले प्रश्न पे जाने से पहले, I would like to inform and share with the audience that in December, sir got the Crossword Book Award in Mumbai. Along with Twinkle Kavakar, the top 5 books, and here is the book most popular choice, Kitne Ghazi Aaye, Kitne Ghazi Gaye. So let's congratulate one cheer round of applause for him, sir. Sir, take us to the intense moment of decision making in Pulwama. What happened exactly? How could you decide? How could you avenge? How could you orchestrate, plan the mission and the Operation Ma? Share a little bit about that, sir.
Pulwama happened on 14th of February 2019, like Ma'am was saying, it was also Valentine's Day. And talking about Valentine, someone once asked me, he said, sir, aap Valentine Day manate ho? I said, yes. And he was quite taken aback. I said, yes, my nation is my Valentine. So, Pulwama happened on 14th of February. Sir is sitting here. He was my colleague in Kashmir. I had taken over Kashmir Corps Commander. And he is a witness to that press conference where the statement was made, Kitne Ghazi Aaye, Kitne Ghazi Gaye, which was played also. And Pulwama happened on 14th of February. I had taken over on 10th of February 2019 as Corps Commander. And incident as big as Pulwama happened. And after looking at the casualties and managing things, I was going for a meeting in the evening how to go about it. And my ADC, Captain Sandeep Singh, he was just talking about him. He was sitting next to me. And naturally, young man, he was also anxious. He had also seen the news. And that time he asked me, the point you asked, revenge. In the army, we don't work with the feeling of revenge. Whenever an incident like this happens, हम ये नहीं कहते कि बदला लेना. We become more resolute in our actions. हम अपने आप को और सुदृढ़ कर लेते हैं कि now we have to hit back. We have to hit back with force. So when I was going and this young captain asked me, sir, अब क्या होगा? What will happen now? So my statement was, I said, pardon my language, it was played. I said, we will get the bastards. And we killed the people who carried out Pulwama within 100 hours. 18th February evening, the operation terminated after killing of these people. And 19th February morning was this press conference.
Awesome. So you were designated to carry on the Article 370 days and the operation and to make it happen very smoothly. A little light on that, please. What was it very nerve-wracking to decide?
I was a Corps Commander in Kashmir, and Corps Commander means you look after the line of control, operation across the line of control inside Pakistan occupied Kashmir, counter-infiltration on the line of control, and all the counter-terrorist operations within the Kashmir Valley. In addition, your liaison with the civil, military, civil defense, police, intelligence agencies, he was part of the intelligence branch, and other aspects. So when Pulwama happened, and after that Balakot happened, the Balakot aircrafts went through my AOR, my area of responsibility, and then came abrogation of Article 370. 5th of August 2019 was the abrogation of Article 370, and 27th of June, early morning, Mr. Amit Shah, the Honorable Home Minister, was in Kashmir. We had a lot of meetings the previous evening, and at 2 in the night on 26th, 27th, I get a call, कि sir morning में 7 बजे breakfast में meeting है with the Home Minister. So I said okay. 3 o'clock in the night I get another call, sir what would you like to have for breakfast? So I said जो सब लोग खाएंगे वही मैं खा लूँगा. And this is when I was told, sir सब लोग नहीं, it's only one-on-one meeting between you and the Home Minister. So anyway, the meeting started. A lot of things were discussed. ये करेंगे तो वो कैसे होगा, वो करेंगे तो वो कैसे होगा. In the end, he asked me. He says, तो फिर जिम्मेवारी किसकी होगी? And I said, sir, we'll make sure nothing goes wrong. He said, but everyone, all the agencies are saying things can go wrong. I said, no, sir, don't worry, nothing will happen. And then I told him, I said, sir, अगर इतिहास लिखना है तो किसी ना किसी को तो इतिहास बनाना पड़ेगा. You have to make history to write history. And he appreciated this line. And again the leadership. See, I was leader in Kashmir, but I had a bigger leader above me, my army chief, General Rawat. I could have told him, sir, मैं check करके बताता हूँ. I'll speak to my chief, I'll speak to my subordinates, I'll speak to my team. I'll come back and let you know if we can do it or not. But at that moment, if I had said this, that would have meant that I am not very sure of myself. So I had to take a call and I said, sir, I am responsible. And now comes the bigger question. When I came back, I asked the army chief or told the army chief, sir, ये बात हुई थी, and last में ये question था, तो I said, कि sir, I am responsible. I could well have said, sir, I'll check with the chief and then come back. But sir, that would have shown that I am not very sure. And you know what my chief says, my leader, he says, Tiny, अगर तूने ये बोला भी होता कि मैं check करके आता हूँ, and you would have asked me कि sir ये क्या करें? He said, I would have asked you back, Tiny कर लेगा क्या? He said, now that you said कर लेंगे, now go ahead and do it and tell me how can I help you now? What do you need for me? Now that is leadership. Leadership is not only taking a decision, leadership is supporting your subordinates also. And then only the subordinate will have the guts to take that bold decision. If I was not given that free hand, or I had no faith in my leader, I would not have said this. It is an earth-shattering decision. It is one of the major historic decisions in the history of India, abrogation of Article 370. And to take that decision, to give up assurance, you needed to know yourself, you needed to know your leader.
You have to win the trust of the country. Absolutely brilliant, sir. This is something we wanted to know, and this is going great. Now, मैंने जितना भी आपको पढ़ा है, मैंने ये भी देखा है कि आप हर जगह, चाहे वो PM लेवल हो, कुछ हो, जनरल्स हो, आप अपनी बात मनवा लेते हैं. So ये क्या है, आपको इतनी wittiness कैसे है मतलब?
See, बात मनवाने के लिए again, firstly, my second book which is coming, it's probably relevant to everyone sitting out here. The book is the military leadership ethos and its relevance to the civil society, the students, the defense aspirants, the corporate world. And the name of the book is, since it's on military leadership ethos, the name is Wafadari, Imandari, Zimmedari, War Room to Boardroom. So, as a leader, when you have to put your point across, the 3 4 major qualities which should be there. One is you should be very transparent. There should be nothing hidden in your personality or in your utterances. What you are saying should be very clear. You should say it calmly and say it concisely. And next is, you should not be affected directly by that decision. That means अगर मैं ये decision बोलता हूँ कि चिटकारा में ये करते हैं, and if I am a stakeholder in Chitkara, that means I am taking this decision. Of course, the people sitting in the front row here, they have to take decision because they're part of Chitkara. But if I am a stakeholder in Chitkara and having Chitkara shares and then I do something, then I am not a good leader. My decision should not affect me directly. It should be in the good of everyone. And third and most important is my team should be part of that decision. ऐसा नहीं हो कि मैं एज अ लीडर मैं बोल के आगे मैं कर दूंगा and team says कि सर ऐसे कैसे कर सकते हो. You should have the confidence of your team. And once these three are there, then I go back to that Admiral Shekhawat. Then you should have the courage of conviction to say your point. Then you shouldn't feel that मैं बोलूँगा तो पता नहीं मेरी नौकरी को खतरा हो जाएगा, ये हो जाएगा या वो हो जाएगा. Then you say your point and say it firmly. You can say very firm things in a very polite manner. You don't have to abuse each other. So that's how probably and I had some
I think all three
people with the sound with.
All three very powerful nuggets. I think a lot for the students to take. Let us give a round cheer applause for that. Awesome. So, have you ever been surrounded by enemies and they let you go, or you let them go?
Not an enemy per se, but terrorists, yes. One has been in situations where there have been terrorists who outnumbered our team. And one situation happened in Manipur when I was leading a team of 10 and there were 40 terrorists and they had the universal machine guns and grenade launchers and all that. But then point is, who dares wins. Jal Joshi has just written a book on this, who dares wins. If I had not dared to hit them, I walked 4 hours in the night in rain and hit them and they felt that probably iske piche aur bhi hain. And then they started running. I chased them for 3 days, my team. I narrated this incident in the book, but it's not important. The numbers are not important. If you have jigra, then nothing matters.
Correct.
As a leader, you must be very clear to my team, my men. If I had not hit them, they would have butchered all of us. It is just because we took a decision to hit them first. They realize that if we hit them, there must be someone else also coming behind. So you have to take a call. Offense is the best form of defense.
No
one has ever won a war by being defensive. It's only if you are offensive in nature, then only you. And your defense also has to be offensive in nature. Gentlemen sitting in the front row know this. So never give up. Never give up.
Brilliant. Brilliant. Sir, before we move on to the next question, you have seen blood, you've seen pain, you've seen, in front of you, soldiers languishing in, I would say, corridors of darkness and death. Now, एक बच्चा घर खुशी से छुट्टी जाता है, एक फौजी आपका छुट्टी जाता है, और एक फौजी, तिरंगे में लिपट के पहुंचता है घर. गर्व दोनों में है, एक को देश के लिए है, एक को वैसे जाना है खुशी परिवार के लिए. How was it having a mental strength? I want to link this question with the students because it got to be more mentally powerful.
See, when you were selected in a cricket team in your 9th class or 8th class, you came home so proudly. Your parents felt so nice, बच्चा team में शामिल हो गया. When you got that first division in your 10th board exams or 12th board exams, you were feeling so nice, the parents were feeling so proud. ये छोटी छोटी बातों के लिए अगर इतना गर्व है, how many children name are inscribed in the center of the capital of nation in a war memorial? कितनों के बच्चे हैं जिनका नाम उस war memorial में लिखा, मरना सबने है. So when a child come back home wrapped in a national flag, having done an act of bravery, then why don't feel proud? जिसकी मैं बात कर रहा था इतिहास की, उस बच्चे ने इतिहास में अपना नाम दर्ज किया है. And in the army we have a tradition. We call the parents or the next of kin every year when we celebrate our battle honor days or raising days and honor their contribution. जो उनके बच्चे ने किया है, we honor the parents every year. And a child, the father, mother may be staying in some place in Junjunu or some place in Moga. One call from them to the unit starts acting on their call. The family which I am talking about. We go down 3 to 4 generations. We maintain contact with them.
Yeah.
So it's a great honor for anyone's son or daughter to have the name in that National War Memorial. कितनों के बच्चे हैं देखिए.
These stories of valor, you know, sends shivers to your spine. So let's get on to your book. Thank you so much for it. I think we had more time we could discuss, but now let's get on to the book. Kitne Ghazi Aaye, Kitne Ghazi Gaye. In the Pulwama press conference, you mentioned this name. You've done it. आपकी किताब में पढ़ रहा था, उसमें आपने किताब में लिखा है कि एक सैनिक के लिए मौत उसके साथ हमेशा रहने वाली एक प्रेमिका की तरह होती है. Can you elaborate? You mentioned some, but if you can share more a little bit, how close is death to you while you are a Fauji?
प्रेमिका, love affair, प्रेमी, boyfriend, girlfriend, you know. Okay, I will answer this. You know, there was a girl in Gujarat University. I was giving a talk, and a girl student asked me a question, sir. What are the challenges in the army as a job? And before that, I will tell you, whatever you do, अगर आपको उससे मोहब्बत नहीं है, if you are not in love with what you are doing, you are not doing it well. So when she asked me, sir, army as a job, what are the challenges? My reply was, आर्मी जॉब नहीं है, आर्मी एक मोहब्बत है. Because I love my job. आर्मी जॉब नहीं है, आर्मी एक मोहब्बत है, और मोहब्बत में चैलेंज नहीं होते, मोहब्बत में अफसाने होते. And those afsanas are there in the book.
Yes.
फौज में अगर एक जवान है, अगर मेरे को मालूम है I can die any moment, and if that feeling is not with me like a girlfriend all the while, फिर मुझे मोहब्बत नहीं है मेरे काम से. And if I let my girlfriend, you know, और मेरी प्रेमिका, जैसे बोला हिंदी की बुक में है, अगर मैं उसको साथ छोड़ दूं, तो फिर वो मोहब्बत नहीं. इसलिए फौजी हर वक्त जिंदा रह के अपना जो मिशन है उसको अंजाम देने की कोशिश करता है.
Brilliant.
You know, dying is not part of our job. Killing that idiot to die for his country is part of our job.
Brilliant. On a lighter note, one of your chapters talks about Masuri nights. Can you please share a little bit?
I can see the smiles. Masuri nights, Indian Military Academy is in Dehradun.
Yeah.
And Masuri is a very popular hill station close by. And in those days, when the pollution was not there, at night, Masuri lights used to be visible from the IMA, Indian Military Academy lines. And to make you strong, and because दुश्मन कभी भी आपको वो नहीं करेगा जो डन थिंग है. दुश्मन will do something which you are not expecting. दुश्मन आपको भाई बंधु नहीं है. So suddenly at night, 11 o'clock, you will be called out. You will be told to strip down into your nothing. You will be told to dip in a drum filled with water and come out and stand and look at Masuri lights in months of January, December, November, February. And those days they were very cold nights. Having dipped in the water, bare body, and looking at the Masuri lights as a course, that particular treatment was called Masuri night. Okay, come out from Masuri night. So these are few names. There is a way of making sure that you dress up in time.
Yeah.
Like no Fauji takes more than 2 to 3 minutes to dress up, including tying of a turban, because he has been trained. There's something called patti parade. Your senior will sit with a stand with a clock watch or a stopwatch, say, okay, go change into drill order. You change into dress which is one for the drill. Then you change into PT order, change into mufti or the classroom dress. And there's something called phantom dress.
Now what is that?
Phantom dress is you wear a swimming trunk and you wear a rain cape and come flying like this. So phantom used to have only one that piece of rope. So that was phantom dress. So there's a lot of humor in everything that we do. And the other day in the book only I said patti parade. This patti is equivalent to pati. ऐसा वो parade तो उस टाइम पे तो ठीक हो गया. अभी ये घर में माहौल में पत्नी के साथ बड़ी प्रॉब्लम होती है. Because you get ready in time and then you're telling her जल्दी करो she said.
आप उल्टा करो ना, उनको तैयार होने दो, वो फिर उल्टा करें.
And like some Punjabi comedian was saying कि यार everyone says ladies बहुत टाइम लेती हैं तैयार होने में. तो ही वाज सेइंग सुंदर भी तो वही लगती है.
Absolutely. Another thing, a note I'm taking from the book, and then we go for the last two questions and then the audience. So, बुक में ये है कि हर कैडेट को एनडीए में साइकिल दिया जाता है. मैं इसको लिंक कर रहा हूँ थोड़ी पेनफुल चीज़ से कि कारगिल वॉर में पाकिस्तानी सोल्जर्स अपनी सोल्जर्स के आप थोड़ा इसको डिटेल में बताइए.
You know, in India, every cadet is issued, even in Aaye, every cadet issues a bicycle. And bicycle has the number on the, पीछे वाला जो मडगाड़ होता है. That like my bicycle, I still remember, it was Alpha 51. Since I was Alpha Squadron, so 51 was my bicycle number.
Right.
And this bicycle, since over a period of time, they had gone old and mechanically not very fit. Half the time the bicycle would not work. कभी उसकी चेन टूट गई कभी. And it's not that you have gone somewhere and the bicycle has gone off-road and you just dump it there and come back. No. You have to carry your bicycle back on your shoulders. And in India, you are not supposed to walk. You are supposed to run. Whenever you are not in a squad of 4 or 6. So you carry your bicycle and you come back to your squadron and then keep the bicycle there, then get it repaired. So this is part of the training. And Indian Army has an honor code. We do not leave anyone behind, not even our dead.
Right.
So we carry our soldiers back home in whichever condition they may be. So अगर एनडीए की ट्रेनिंग में बाइसिकल पीछे नहीं छोड़ना, ये ट्रेनिंग थी, तो how can we leave a soldier behind? That's the manner. Unlike the Pakistan Army who left their soldiers during Kargil on Indian soil, dead bodies. And when their mortal remains were offered by Indian side, they refused to accept them. It's the Indian Army, again General Y.K. Joshi was commanding 13 Jackreef at that time, and he just written a book, Good Days Wins. It's the Indian Army who gave them a decent burial as per their religious traditions. And the videos of it. Ours is a very ethical army. And the students are sitting here, you must take pride in a culture, in a heritage. 5000 साल पुरानी सभ्यता के वंशज हैं हम. You should be proud of it. We have value systems, we have cultural values, we have ethical values, we have जो नानी दादी ने बताई वो values. So you are rakshak of those values, you are custodian of those values. You must take pride in being an Indian because no other civilization around of all the Western world is as strong as Indian civilization.
I agree, and I'm sure पूरी दुनिया इस देश में समाई, so I think better to look from that perspective, sir. Now the book, did some Bollywood people approach you for making a movie? And if a movie, then who would you like to cast in that movie?
Yeah, same question was asked by Mr. Anupam Kher. Yeah, a lot of people have approached, and Mr. Anupam Kher and Mr. Nana Patekar are personal friends. So the book as such has been approached for movie making, but both of them have told me that don't give your rights to anyone. Just in movie बननी होगी, somebody will approach you directly. Otherwise, what will happen is very big amount was offered for a Fauji, maybe 50-60 lakhs is a very big amount. That type of money was offered to me to give the rights of the book. I refused. Although there is a documentary being made on a specific thing, Operation Ma, and for that documentary only I had gone to Kashmir for shooting. So there is a documentary being made for the book. The talks are going on with various people, but as of now, and if at all, there is one person who approached me, still in talks, who wanted Aaye Dev to play the young Dhillon's role and Amitabh Bachchan to play the elder one's role. So I'm not sure, it depends who is cast, but as and when, if and when it is made.
Superb, exemplary, so deep. Sir, एक बच्चों के लिए question है, then we go to my last question. How do you address the role of social media in modern warfare? Because they got to deal with technology when they grow up in ranks and build their career.
Okay, I must take a little time on this because every one of you, each one of you is social media. And there was a boy who approached me on Instagram to say, when you come there, I want a photograph with you. And I replied to every question, I replied to every Instagram DM. And I said, okay, you come there. And he said, sir, what date, what time you are coming on there on 21st? I said, the school authorities and my security people would know because I can't divulge where I am going. So he met me backstage and he took a photograph with me.
Yes, Varun.
So this is how the social media works. What is social media? social media is a medium given to you for social interaction. And when it is a social interaction, you can't be abusing a nameless person, faceless person. Just because you don't agree with his idea or his way of thinking. In the bargain, if I am connected with you, I have few things to tell you. I have few things which you can learn from me. And you have so many things which I can learn from you. If we talk socially acceptable language, we can interchange or exchange these things from each other. You will be a better person, I will be a better person. But if you keep abusing each other, you have not learned those few things which I had, and I have not learned those many things which you had. You have wasted your time, you have wasted your screen time. And as a result, you also wasted the time which you could have utilized for studies. So come on social media, come on the net for positives. Don't go to the net for negatives.
Sir, but when to draw the line? Because it's so addictive. You keep on going in the weeds along.
The line drawing is given in the social media. Unfollow all the people whom you don't like. So you will be left with only good people. I unfollow 20 people every day. Not unfollow, I hardly follow anyone. I block 20 people every day. Who are my followers? Because you can't be nonsensical. So that's something very important, because when a youngster approaches me, he tells me, sir, I am a student of class 12, I want to join NDA, this is my stream, this is my family background, I can afford this, I can't afford this. So I have to give him a very sincere and sensible advice. And when somebody approaches me, sir, aapko Hindi film achhi lagti hai, aapko kaun si heroine achhi lagti hai? So that's not a question which he is serious about. Then I tell him, I said, you are wasting your time, you are wasting my time. I could have answered any of your question, a doubt which you had about life, about army, about anything. Yeah. Because I have probably 40 years more age with you than you. So please, social media should be used for a positive things in a positive manner. That will make you a better person.
I think that's a very strong message to take. And we have
a lot of good people with good thoughts, with good advice, they are on social media.
They are. Yeah.
Utilize their services. They are willing to share with you. Otherwise, you will not get that type of cross section of people to gain knowledge from. So use it sensibly.
Wonderful. Ladies and gentlemen, we are talking to a war hero, a national hero, somebody whose stories are full of examples, inspiration, and their stories of valor too. And there's a lot of personal touch as a father speaking and telling the student, this is what you got to do. Like we are mentored in our university by Dr. Madhu Chitkara, the kind of pain she takes to the deepest core, for everybody to develop as a personality. Now, before I come to the question answers from the students, last question, sir, what legacy do you hope to leave behind?
See, I come from a very basic background, educated family, a basic background, and if I am sitting here today, I have never driven a brand new car in my entire life. The first one I bought after retirement was also with a loan from the bank. So this carry home, this CTC, the package did not matter to me. And if this did not matter to me, other value systems mattered. And that is the reason I am here. Otherwise, there are many class fellows of mine who had this CTC, who had the packages, who are abroad. But nobody sitting here would know them. Nobody would invite them. So, be someone. Men and women are born to die one day. Yeah. Only few live in the legends. Be that one. And most important, since I'm talking to the students, failure is a part of life. Failure is a stepping stone for success. Earlier you fail, better it is. Because someone failing at 40 years of age for the first time when he is having a company of 20,000 employees under him, he won't know how to handle that failure. Because he has never handled a failure. अगर मैं 8वीं में फेल हुआ फिर 10वीं में भी किसी एग्जाम में फेल हो गया फिर ये नहीं किया वो नहीं किया at 40 years when I am owning a company of 20,000 employees someone comes and tells me sir ये बहुत बड़ा एक failure हो गया I'll say don't worry बहुत देखे हैं इसे I'll handle it. Otherwise if I have not handled failure in my life I would say अरे क्या करूँ I would get confused and you are getting confused is going to affect those 20,000 people, their families, your company's reputation, naam, namak, nishan, khandani pe affect karega. So never be scared of failures. Mr. Anupam Kher told me one very good thing. He says failure is an event. Failure is not a person. Someone trying to organize this event was given the responsibility because that person had done very well in the past in such like things. And something goes wrong. Like suddenly the lights have gone off. Something goes wrong and there is some, you can say, event was a failure. Does it mean that person is a failure? No. Or this event is a failure? Tomorrow the person will make a similar event happen much better way. So never call a person a failure. It's an event which has failed. And before we take the questions, I will backstage signing the books if anyone wants to get it.
Yes.
ये टूटना बुरी बात नहीं है. टूटना बुरी बात नहीं है, टूटकर बिखरना भी बुरी बात नहीं है. टूटना बुरी बात नहीं है, टूटकर बिखरना भी बुरी बात नहीं है. टूटकर जुड़ना हिम्मत है और जुड़कर उड़ना हिम्मत है.
यारों को याद है, आप सब इंस्पिरेशन है. एंड 2004 में मैंने पियर्स ब्रॉसनन को इंटरव्यू किया था जो जेम्स बॉन्ड थे. वो मूवीज हॉलीवुड मूवीज के थे. मैंने आज अपने इंडियन जेम्स बॉन्ड को इंटरव्यू किया. थैंक यू. आई एम सो हैप्पी. Very exalted mind, great personality, and we are totally impressed, ladies and gentlemen. Let's have some questions from the audience now. We have 5 minutes. Okay, please go ahead.
Hey sir, I'm Aaye. Sir, I have a question for you.
Mike, please. Yeah.
Can terrorism be removed from India completely? And if not, what are the various measures that India must take to dwindle terrorism?
Okay, terrorism is like a like a cancer in a body, and cancer can be treated by various medicines. And terrorism will happen where there is shortage of resources, shortage of money, जहाँ पे रोटी कपड़ा मकान का कमी है. In Kashmir, when people were saying how to get rid of it, my point was economics drives everything. That boy is become, because this, in the book it's given in great, why the boy has picked up a weapon? The boy has picked up a weapon because when the terrorism came, the Kashmiri Pandits were the backbone of education system. Kashmiri Pandits were thrown out, the education in the schools were burned down. So the child had no place to go, child had no teacher to go to. And in mass, people used to be promoted 8वीं 10वीं, and when it came to he has to now compete for a university or a some sort of a exam or some sort of a specialized course, he could not compete. So they killed that, and that boy now has no other option but to pick up a gun. So economics, अगर उसके घर में 500 रुपये आ रहा है, कल को 2000 रुपये आना शुरू हो जाएगा, he will not pick up a gun. So the only way is for people-friendly policies which give good education. The good education will give better job opportunities. Better job opportunities will bring in more of money in the house, economic development, and that is where it will go. Gun is not the answer. As a soldier, I'm telling you, gun is not the answer.
Wonderful, thank you.
The answer is economic development.
Yes, please. We can have one from the cadet. Keep it short and straight from the heart.
Listen. Hey sir, I am Gaurav Pandey. My question is, after 40 years of service, how do you remember your first day at NDA?
Yes.
I was very
Gaurav, after 40 years service, do you remember the first day at NDA? Yes, it was 4th of January 1980.
Oh.
Me and my class fellow, he took premature as a Major Harminder Singh Bhuller or Jimmy Bhuller. We both came, our date of joining was 5th of January. We came a day earlier because we had travelled from Firozpur, and Firozpur में ना ज़्यादा नई movies नहीं लगती सुंदरों में. So we thought we would go to Pune, see 2-3 new movies on 4th of January and 5th January go and report at the NDA. But unfortunately, when we got on at NDA, that Pune railway station, our boxes were of such shape. They were typical boxes which can go under the seat of first floor cabin of railways. So that boxes were a giveaway. So the Subedar Sahab on duty, he recognized, cadet is Raja. He put us in a 310 and took us to NDA. So 4th of January 1980, our dreams of watching new movies also shattered. But a wonderful dream started that day.
Okay, one last one. Anybody from the front benches? Okay, Sandhya Mridul. Let's hear about Sandhya Mridul, one of the wonderful actresses. Sandhya, please go ahead.
Not about me, sir. Firstly, very privileged to hear you speak. Thank you for your service. I don't need a mic. Pata nahi if I missed that part because I came in a little late. Tiny क्यों? There's nothing tiny about you, sir.
Yeah, ma'am, that question was asked. Tiny is a unit made tradition to give a nickname which is opposite to your personality. So it carried on with me till date.
But tiny.
Yeah, it was 6'3". Another 6'3" was called Shorty, and third 6'3" was called Mini.
Mini, yeah. And also Goofy, because he was doing a lot of goof ups. So 6'4", Goofy. Excellent. Last question you can take before I invite Madonna. Okay, let's have.
Since mic is being sent there, sorry. Anyone has a question? All my social media handles are Tiny Dhillon. You can put me a DM, I will answer your question if they remain unanswered. And I will answer all your questions. And my email is also on my social media bios. So you can email me also.
And I must recommend to pick up a copy of the book. It's an awesome book. Last night from 2:30 a.m. till 7:30, I was in the book, his videos, to understand what I'm going to talk with him. Over to Dr. Sandeep Sharma, our Vice Chancellor, for the question, please.
Thank you, sir. Yeah.
We have another Tiny, the most handsome Tiny. Yes.
Thank you so much, sir, for being with us again. I don't have a question. I want you to give a message to all the people here in the room. I'm referring to the title of the book, Kitne, Ghazi, Aaye, Ghazi. So this title represents fearlessness, nidata. But fear does exist. What happens to those people who accept the fear? What happens to those people who ignore the fear? We have seen those who face the fear.
Yes.
We have seen
every moment.
You have brave the fear, every moment you have
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
So what happens to them, those who ignore or accept?
I was writing this chapter for my second book yesterday night. You know, aggression, fear, regrets, guilt, success. This press conference, Kitne Ghazi Aaye, Kitne Ghazi Gaye, it happened on 19th of February, and the question was, because Pulwama जिसने किया था, the head of the module was a terrorist codenamed Ghazi. His actual name was Kamran from Pakistan. Just give me preamble. His actual name was Kamran. He was a Pakistani of Jaish Muhammad. So there was a lot of buzz after 14th February. Ghazi has carried out this attack. Ghazi carried out Pulwama. Ghazi attacked India. Some media people even carried this news. So on 19th of February, after we had killed this module, a question was asked by a journalist. Sir, is Ghazi dead? Now, here a gentleman who was a witness and who was present in the press conference, the question was asked, sir, is Ghazi dead? Now, I didn't want to give much credence to this terrorist. So my reply was, Kitne Ghazi Aaye, Kitne Ghazi Gaye, parwah nahi.
Brilliant.
We are there. We make sure nothing happens. So fear is a natural human phenomenon. If someone says, I am not scared, or I don't get afraid, or I don't have fear, I think is wrong. Someone can say fear, someone can say apprehensions, someone can use other words, but dar sabko lagta hai. And when I was a young soldier, a young second lieutenant of 21 years of age, under a certain situation, I would have been afraid, but I would have taken 3 minutes to come out of that situation, to recompose myself and look at it more sensibly, and then take a decision so that myself and my jawans remain safe. To come out of the fear is the matter of time. Now today, after 39-40 years in army, and after about 30-40 such situations where I have come under live fire, I would probably take 10 seconds to come out of the situation. So that's why they say leaders with experience also are better leaders as compared to a young leader who may not have that experience. So fear is not important. What is important is how soon you overcome that fear.
Absolutely. Brilliant.
एग्जाम से डर लगता है, एंड अगर आप 3 दिन तक डरते रहोगे तो पढ़ोगे कब? You have to overcome the fear. You have to look at an example of the last year batch student. अरे यार उसने इतने % ले लिए तो why can't I? So take positive examples, overcome your fears, and aggression, which I have just talked. Aggression is a very powerful human phenomena, human attribute, human trait. Don't use aggression on social media. Use aggression when you say ये मैंने chapter आज रात को खत्म करना है. Handle that confidence aggressively.
Beautiful. Yeah.
Because aggression is not only abusing. Aggression is commitment to the fullest. So use all these emotions, all these human traits positively. Everything can be used positively.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
As a student, before we close, as a student, everyone says Jai Hind and well done, and on 15th August, 26th January to all the soldiers, to the army, navy, air force. There are 2-3 things. This line is very common on social media. Be a citizen worth dying for. And when I say be a good citizen, I am not asking for anything. I am just asking you to obey traffic rules, listen to your parents, listen to your teachers, don't litter around, keep the area clean, keep the area green, and swachhta and all those things. These things will make you a better human being. Stop saying, हम ने ये किया, सर हम तो पूरा litter करते हैं, हम Indians. Moment you say ना मैं litter करता हूँ, it will hit you. Don't generalize anything. सर तुम्हारी आदत है सर ट्रैफिक लाइट जंप करना. मोमेंट से मेरी आदत है ट्रैफिक लाइट जंप करना, इट विल टेल यू यार तू गलत कर रहा है.
Own it. Yeah.
Own it. Ownership, belonging, very important. Like ownership, so many points are coming up from next to. Chitkara University is, if you don't own this university, each one of you, if you don't belong to this university, each one of you, then you are not here. Ownership lena bahut zaruri hai.
That level of being a custodian from the heart. It is so difficult to sum up a tall 4 decades of journey of a soldier in just 50 minutes. But I think we attempted. Thank you for being a wonderful audience. Thank you so much, sir. It's an honor.